If you are an avid fan and have been watching Shen Yue's career closely, 2026 feels somewhat different. Not exactly exaggerated, just different. There's a quiet shift happening, and what makes this moment most interesting is that it doesn't even look like a reinvention. It actually looks like a transition that has been carefully building for years. Hi, welcome to Asian Star Spotlight. If you are new here, you are welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe to join our amazing community. And if you are already part of the community, thank you and I appreciate you for being here. Let's get right into it. For a lot of us, Shen Yue will always be tied to that campus drama era. When she broke out in A Love So Beautiful, she became the relatable, soft-spoken girl next door almost overnight. Then came Meteor and suddenly she wasn't just a rising actress anymore. She was the face of a new generation of youth romance. Her public image developed early. Approachable, gentle, sweet and slightly awkward in the most charming way possible. The campus queen label followed her for years. And to be fair, she embodied it pretty well, I must say. But staying in that lane forever was never going to be something sustainable. What many people may not have realized is that transitioning out of a strongly defined image can be harder than creating one. When audiences love you for a specific vibe, innocence, youthfulness, sweetness and that first love energy, any move toward maturity can feel overwhelming. And yet, in 2026, we're seeing Shen Yue lean into roles and public appearances that subtly challenge that early branding. Performance are just out of the world, to be honest. It's not that she's abandoned romantic dramas entirely. It's that the tone now feels different. The characters she's choosing now carry more emotional weight. They're not just reacting to love. They're navigating careers, complicated relationships, and adult consequences. There's a noticeable change from coming of age to coming into power. And she is doing that smartly as a woman building herself. Fans most definitely noticed changes in her styling too. Her red carpet looks over the past year have been more structured, more refined, and quite bold. Her soft bangs and oversized sweaters that once defined her public image are appearing less frequently. Instead, we're seeing sharper silhouettes, deeper tones, and styling that frames her as a leading bold woman rather than a student protagonist. It's subtle, but it sure matters. In K-drama culture, visual presentation often signals career direction long before a project even airs. But in all, we still applaud her for being so natural while at it. This shows that her team and Shen Yue herself are actively repositioning her for the next stage of definite longevity. Because here's the real deal. The industry moves on so fast. The worst is that actresses who debut young often face a critical crossroads around their mid to late 20s. Do they remain typecast in youthful roles? Or do they pivot before the audience decides for them? And it's quite a tough decision to make. You get what I mean. But in Shen Yue's case, thankfully the pivot feels intentional rather than it just being reactive. I think Shen Yue is growing and glowing, and one of the things I love so much about her, it's how she's maintained her natural beauty, and it radiates evidently. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments about this new phase of hers. Is it something you love, or something you're seeing differently? Another addition to this glow-up is definitely her confidence. Do you remember early in her career, interviews sometimes highlighted her very shy personality? She was honest about insecurities, about feeling overwhelmed by sudden fame after Meteor at a young age. That vulnerability made her really relatable. But the negative side is that it fed into the perception that she was still growing into stardom. Now, when she shows up in press events or variety shows, there's quite a noticeable composure, and we are living for it. She speaks much more direct. She holds eye contact longer. She laughs, but she doesn't hide behind her beautiful laughter. It's a small behavioral shift, yet it reinforces the idea that she's not just playing mature roles. It shows that she's becoming more assured in her public identity. And we love her for it. We are definitely looking forward to seeing her blossom more into the beautiful woman she is becoming. What makes this all so compelling is that it's happening without any controversy. There's really no much image overhaul, no headline-grabbing scandal forcing a reset. It's a steady evolution. And sometimes, that type of quiet progress is harder to pull off than a flashy rebrand. Sure enough, the question many fans are asking is whether this glow-up will translate into more critically respected projects. But commercial popularity has never been Shen Yue's issue. She has name recognition, a loyal fan base, which she is thankful for, and strong brand appeal. But long-term staying power in the K-drama world often hinges on range. Can she convincingly portray layered, morally complex women? Can she anchor a story that isn't driven purely by romantic chemistry without a doubt? We're starting to see glimpses of that potential, I guess. There is a little shift in how directors frame her, too. Instead of emphasizing just her sweetness, recent performances remain on internal conflict, hesitation before a decision, restrained emotion, instead of wide-eyed innocence. It suggests that industry insiders may see more depth in her than her early roles required her to show. And we are really excited about that. At the same time, it's important to be more realistic. Public perception doesn't just change overnight. Some viewers still associate her so strongly with school uniforms and first love. Storylines that accepting her as a mature leading bold lady may take time. And it's understandable. That's not necessarily negative. It just means her transition requires consistency and grace from the viewers to adapt to the evolved her. And consistency might be exactly what she's aiming for. And if you are truly a lover of Shen Yue, please be supportive of her. What many people may not realize is that Shen Yue has maintained relatively steady output compared to some of her peers. She has not disappeared between projects. She has not overexposed herself either. That balance has really kept her relevant without presumable fatigue. In 2026, I think that steady groundwork seems to really be paying off. There is also the broader industry context. C-dramas are currently leaning into more female-driven narratives. Stories about career ambition, personal growth, even social themes beyond romance. If Shen Yue continues selecting scripts aligned with that trend, it could definitely strengthen her position as part of this new wave of actresses, redefining what mainstream heroines look like. And we all should be up and supportive of her. Still, I think the most telling sign of this glow-up is not a specific drama or outfit. It is the way the conversation and perception around her is changing. Instead of simply asking, can she handle another youth romance? People are asking, is this her breakthrough into a more mature level? That switch in questioning alone shows growth. It shows she is more than a productive and regarded more as a person. You get what I mean. Now, this is something I particularly find interesting. Shen Yue hasn't completely rejected her past image. She continues to embrace the warmth and relatability that made audiences fall for her. She remains the sweet, charismatic person she is. It's just her evolving to being a better version of her, and it's definitely the healthiest kind of evolution for a public figure. One thing that should be noted is that career trajectories are unpredictable. Not every mature role automatically redefines an actress, and not every stylistic change guarantees critical acclaim. But when you look at her pattern, her role choices, her visual branding, her growing confidence, it does feel like 2026 is marking a new chapter for her. Something her fans are really noticing is Shen Yue's definitive transition from campus queen to mature leading lady. Though it might be just too early to declare it complete. But what makes it matter this time is that the groundwork is really visible. Her intention feels deliberate. And perhaps most importantly, her growth feels highly earned. And to be frank, as someone who's followed her journey from those early campus days, watching this evolution unravel feels less like an exaggerated transformation and more like witnessing someone step fully into herself. That type of glow up isn't excessive. It's constant. And sometimes, constant is exactly what lasts. Share your thoughts in the comment on what you think of her glow up. Is it something you would love to see more of, or do you just prefer her as the campus schoolgirl? Thank you so much for watching. Take care and see you guys in my next one.